All right, what's on the bench? It's some RF magic. It's SMA to SMA, and no markings. There's some scratches on it with one of those vibrator pencils. You can see that there. Your guess is as good as mine. I couldn't find anything online. So mystery thing. Now it does have some screws on the top. Now that would make you think that it is a filter of some type, and these are the adjustments for the filter. That one and that one. These are probably just mounting screws. So there's a plate that screws on here and a plate that screws on here. So probably taking these screws out will give us an idea what's inside. I swept it here in the lab up to 6 gigahertz and it didn't seem to do anything. I gave it to my friend and he swept it out to at least 26 gigahertz, maybe 50 gigahertz. He's got all kinds of cool equipment at work. He's got at home, I think he can do 26 gigahertz at home. Anyway, he swept it and he says it's flat, through flat, to 12 gigahertz, and then it kind of does weird stuff after 12 gigahertz. So he says if it's trying to be a 12 gigahertz low pass filter, it's a really cruddy one. And so I've got a theory that since these screws here, the paint's chipped off of them, I'm thinking that maybe somebody tried to adjust it and broke it, but I don't know. Anyway, if it's 12 gigahertz low pass, that's no use to me. So I think what we'll do is try to peek inside. Is that a good? Yeah, that's a good one. Let's, oh dear, these are painted on. These might be hard to get out. Oh, yeah. So let me work on it a while and see if I can't open it up. All right, I'm able to take all the screws out and got the plate to come off. So, what did we find? Well, we found some strange things. Now, I think I know what it is, but I'm not 100% sure, so comment below if you agree with me. So, there's these two screws that, let's see here, let me move you down. Okay, I think that's better. So, we have this weird transmission line that comes in and goes across and then it comes out, right? And then there's these two mechanical things here. And there's a screw here, and the screw can be adjusted here, and then there's a locking set screw. So there's a plate that rotates and there's a locking set screw that mates with that. But that's just mechanics. So this can move in and out, okay? Well, what does it do? Well, there's this piece of metal, so the RF will come in here and then it will travel up here. And then there's a little shorting block right here. There's a little shorting block. And so the RF will come up here, it'll go down and over, up, and around. Now this looks very, very, very familiar to me because I did a video once on a tuning stub that looked like a trombone, but it wasn't. It was a tuning stub, but it was coaxial, but it had a unit in it like this. And it was basically it had two adjustments. It had one adjustment for the length of the bend. So this can vary length, electrical length. And it also had a secondary adjustment for capacitance, but this one only seems to have a length adjustment. So let me put it under the microscope here. All right, under the microscope, let's take a look at the transmission line here from one end to the other. It takes some kinks in it. So it goes and it turns and then it goes over and it comes back down. It goes for a while and it turns and it goes up and it goes over and it goes back down for a while and then it goes out the connector. So these little sections here are tunable lengths. There was a little screw on both sides that moved it in and out. I removed the screw on the right hand one so we can move it easily. And we can see here There we go. It kind of acts as a piston. And so you can lengthen or shorten the electrical length on that side. And that would allow you to tune this thing. So I think it's a matching stub of some kind. All right, we're back. So I hope that describes it well enough. It changes the electrical length of this little dog leg here. And so what does it do? What's it for? My best guess is that it's a tuning stub. Okay, so you have this connected to something and you're trying to connect it to this, right? So you got these two things, and the two things have strange complex impedances. They have weird complex impedances, and they don't match well. And you want them to match well. So this one can match that device, and this one can match that device. Or it's a double match thing. So this matches certain wavelengths and this matches other. I don't think so. I think this one matches this input and this one matches this input. And so the two look in here, and this one gets to see its perfect match and this one gets to see its perfect match. So right in the middle here, maybe it's 50 ohms on both sides. Now the weird thing that bothers me is how would you tune this thing, okay? If you adjust this side, so let's say you connect this to your device and then you put a VNA over here and you're measuring S11 and you're trying to tune this thing and you tune it for a goodness, but this thing's sort of in the way. And then you do the opposite, you put something here, then you do S11 on this side and you adjust it. It seems like the two would interact, and it seems strange. So anyway, comment below. My best guess is it's a matching network. At what frequency? I don't know. I think it's broadband, but that might not be true either. Like I said, this thing, when you sweep it, it was flat to like up to 12 gigahertz. I don't think this thing is used. So SMAs are generally used not above 18. So I think it's sort of somewhere probably below 12 gigahertz this thing was used. And then these are two matching things that match things, but boy, your guess is as good as mine.